makes her bid for a little piece of history.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Run of the Race. Brittany Taylor and Mark Warwood ready to dissect everything that happened on Saturday. And Mark, it was a history-making day for the Cerise and White and also William Pike.
Yeah, Pikey up to 135 winners. I'm sure he'll exceed that mark before we get to the end of July. And of course, the stakes wins for the Peters Investments Group up to 27 now. That's a record for them.
And of course, we did have the running of the Aquanita and the Oaks, which also was dominated by Bob Peters' runners in True Attraction and Mystery Miss. On face value, if they were to meet again, which one would you ride?
Possibly Mystery Miss, but there's not much in it.
All right, we'll have a look at how the figures fared later on in the program. But let's start by having a look at the two-year-old event, and this one was won by debutante Cryptic Wonder.
Length and a half to No Apology, who's gone up on the outside of Cryptic Wonder, holding the fence fourth. The odds-on Pop then came on the outside of those. Mercy Prevails. In between horses, Carabiner back near the fence. Rapid Eye Movement is getting an inside run at the top of the home straight, and then Phantom Star hooking to the outside. At the 300 though, and over on the outside, away we go. Quickly goes up, draws level with That's Funny As It Now. Here comes Cryptic Wonder and No Apology. Cryptic Wonder ranges up down past the 100-metre mark, and Cryptic Wonder reaches the lead from No Apology, who's sticking on, but Cryptic Wonder's going to be guided over the line by Pike and wins on debut.
William Pike on the board very early in the meeting. He ended up riding 5. This was the first of them, and this debutant probably put the writing on the wall in a very impressive trial and brought it to race day.
Yeah, certainly was. Wasn't missed by the market as well. Jumped at $1.55. He did ride some shorter winners on Saturday, but Cryptic Wonder, I think he's worth following out of this race. Fastest sectionals from the 800-metre pole onwards, and it was an impressive debut off what was a pretty good trial. I'm forgetting Mercy Prevails here. Finished 8th, was bumped at the start and was wide, and did come back with cardiac arrhythmia. However, that's two very similar ratings by Mercy Prevails. And I will forgive No Apology here. Had to give 2 kilos to what appears to be a pretty good winner. It was a personal best effort by more than 3 lengths on what was its previous run.
Certainly probably one worth following as we go forward. All right, let's have a look at race number 2. Very small field, unfortunately. We did have a few scratchings with the rain about, but Battlestorm continued his undefeated streak.
So the field of 4 approaches the home corner, and first up it is fresh as a daisy. Saracino in the Gangemi livery leads around the bend for Noski, about 1.5 lengths in front. Beat the Devil just coming around his heels and being trailed then by Battlestorm. Further back, Pretentious Chant. They come to the 300-metre mark, and Saracino nursed in front, led by 1.5 lengths. On Beat the Devil, now Battlestorm, and down the outside Pretentious Chant put their runs in. They've got to Saracino. Battlestorm went straight past him. Pretentious Chant runs to second. Now Pike draws the whip on Battlestorm. He's going to be much too good, the long odds-on favourite.
Battlestorm continuing his undefeated streak, recording a figure of almost 7 lengths better than benchmark. A horse that's raced exclusively over the 1,000-metre journey, recording very nice figures, but the camp seem to think he'll be better when he gets over even further.
Be interesting to see what he does away from Belmont Park, because he's raced exclusively there as well. 5 from 5. He's the follow horse out of the race on Saturday. Fastest sectionals, not only of the race but also of the meeting, and he was pretty close to his personal best rating. Forgetting Saracino, this horse won the 2016 Danehill Stakes down the straight at Flemington, has been unplaced in all 19 starts since then. Forget Saracino, and I will forgive Pretentious Chant. Lost a couple of lengths at the start. He was pretty flat-footed as it is way, and he couldn't really beat Battlestorm from there, but ran quite well nonetheless.
Race number 3 we are now up to, and this one, Danny George, a horse that maybe didn't quite reach the heights that they were expecting would last preparation, but has come back a bigger and better horse.
Just in front of Arafura in what is a very compact field. McGruddy slowing them down to the corner. They're being followed by Danny George, back with Yoshi Noxious, Double Jeopardy, and the stablemate Don't Fuss. Homeward bound, 370 to go, and now he makes his move with Black Sabbath. He opens him up and gives him full throttle. How to Fly chimes in down the outside. Black Sabbath with a kick. Now into the clear. Night Voyage and getting right up on the inside. Don't Fuss. Jing Tang, Flower of Scotland coming through. Night Voyage grabbed the lead with about 75 to go from Don't Fuss, and here's Danny George. Danny George cutting them down, lunging. They hit it. Danny George.
Danny George winning there, recording a class figure. So that's just when we associate this class of minus 1.2 lengths. Does that mean we can see him go through the grades this preparation?
I think he's a horse to follow. He's clearly had his issues, mainly with his feet. He's 2 from 2 this preparation and good late sectionals again. He was very impressive late on Saturday. He is the follow horse. I'm going to forgive Don't Fuss. Slipped pretty badly at the start, lost a couple of lengths there. Had the fastest last 400 metres of the race, but was no match for the winner late. And I'm forgetting Double Jeopardy. Finished 8th, its worst WA rating from its 6 runs here in the West. Nowhere near its Vic form since it made the journey over to the West Coast. Not even William Pike could make this horse win.
Yeah, luck certainly wasn't on the Pierce's side with both of those runners in that event on Saturday. Hopefully better luck going forward. All right, let's have a look at the first of our features from Saturday. This one, the Aquinnita Stakes, taken out by True Attraction.
Down on the inside at this point. Around the outside, Luke's Choice, and back last is Rivalry Galore. Play Hard will head for the judge. Coming to the 400 from the last Breeze and Pagan Image going up outside of those. Then the favourite who cuts the corner, True Attraction. He's starting to work into it now. He needs to get off the heels of the leader though, and he's in a little bit of bother. Now he gets through. Down the outside, Luke's Choice. True Attraction eventually saw daylight, and Pike fired him to the front with 150 to go, and he shoots away now. True Attraction, he's got them done to a dinner. It looked a little ominous at the 300, but all's well that ends well in the Aquinnita. True Attraction beat Rivalry Galore.
True Attraction showing the finishing burst that he has, recording an overall figure of minus 3.9. Keep that in mind because we'll soon have a look at the girls. We'll have a look at the Oaks and see how that figure compares. What did you make of the performance?
I thought it was pretty good. He ran into trouble in the straight. He doesn't make the file though. I thought it was a little bit obvious to follow him. So I'm going to follow Rivalry Galore here. Finished second, had the fastest last 200 metres of the race, a new personal best by over 7.5 lengths. And critically, he's still eligible for a maiden. You'd think that horse will be winning sometime soon. Forgetting the last Breeze was 1.4 lengths worse than its previous run, has yet to beat benchmark in any of its career starts. And I will forgive Pagan Image here. Winkers off, blinkers on for the first time. Did race a little bit keenly off what was a pretty decent tempo.
All right, that is a look at the file after the Aquinnita Stakes. We'll take a quick break, and on the other side, we'll have a look how the fillies compared.
Turning up for a picnic with chicken chunks? Ooh, orchies. Turning up for a picnic on a horse? Delightful. Life's better with horses. See you at the races.
Welcome back to the run of the race. We have just looked at the Aquinnita. Now it's time to have a look at the Belmont Oaks to see how the fillies compared. Let's take a look at Mystery Miss.
Trying to do it all the way in the Belmont Oaks. Snuck a length and a half to Heavenly Dust. On the fence over there, dug up now, being pushed along from El Vista. This leader's going quite okay at the top of the straight. Now Pike starts to work his way off the fence. He's got out around the back of Cockatiel. He's now to the outside on the raging favourite, and the Daughter of Animal Kingdom starting to gobble them up at the 250. Ping Me Another about to be joined by Mystery Miss. Further back, Forgotten Star making ground from Cockatiel. Mystery Miss hits the lead though with 150 to go. She's clear for Pike, draws the whip on her. All interest in the minor placings, and another feature win in the Cerise and White. Mystery Miss captures the...
Mystery Miss sailing away just like we expected she would do, but when we look at that tempo to the 600, it's almost 10 lengths slower than what the boys ran.
Yeah, impossible for Mystery Miss to run the same rating as True Attraction given the speed in the early part of the race. But she's the follow horse, fastest sectionals, including the fastest splits from the 10 to the 8, the 6 to the 4, the 4 to the 2 and the 2 to the winning post. That's a very good sign. She didn't beat too much, however. You go through the rest of the file. Will Forgive over there, cast both of its front plates during running. Did win and beat Cockatiel 3 starts ago. That horse finished second on Saturday. And I will forget Heavenly Dust. Defied the odds of 70 to 1 to break its maiden 2 starts ago, but was thrashed on Saturday.
All right, that's a look at the Belmont Oaks, and straight to another staying event. It was a bit of a day for the stayers on Saturday. Let's have a look at this one taken out by Spiritual Warrior.
Dropping out Storm Dancer with 600 left to travel, up nearing the home corner, and the leader Salonda Chevelle tackled by Mr. Albie. Mr. Albie now gets about a half to 3/4. Salonda Chevelle, who looked to be a shot duck at the top of the home straight. Behind them, Beg to Differ gets out now around the heels of Spiritual Warrior. At the ready's got a beautiful inside run. Friar Fox under heavy pressure, doing nothing back behind behind those, and Nawadaroo runs on to the 200 metre mark. Mr. Albie, the stablemates in pursuit. Spiritual Warrior, Nawadaroo from Beg to Differ further back. Musical Art, they hit the 100 mark now, and Spiritual Warrior draws alongside of Mr. Albie. He goes to the lead, Spiritual Warrior, and Spiritual Warrior comes away to win at a half a length. Mr. Albie, Nawadaroo.
Spiritual Warrior winning there. It looked like a bit of a slogfest at the end, but when we look at these figures, they've gone really, really quick to the 600.
Yeah, they had an excuse for coming home in 39 seconds over that last 600 metres because they went very, very fast, almost bow count fast. That's how quickly they went. Looking at the file, there's only 2 horses in it. Mr. Albie's the forgive horse for mine. He went 14.5 lengths faster than benchmark to the 600 and still came home with the 3rd fastest last 200 metres. I think he's the follow horse here. It was a PB performance. He let what was a very fast tempo and he toughed it out really, really well. We know he loves Belmont Park, so stick with him during the winter season. And I am forgetting Friar Fox here. The form around her, both before she went to Victoria and since she's come back, is actually not that strong, and she gets the forget here, and Salon du Cheval gets another mention as well.
All right, let's take a look at the next race. This one was won by Spirit and Fire, who had failed up the Pinjarra Straight, but back to 1200 around a bend, was able to get the job done.
Spirit and Fire races to a clear lead for Katie Whitner. It's Spirit and Fire 2 lengths in front of Shapita in a strung out field coming up to the home corner. Harry Thomas on the inside of Route 88, which is being trailed in turn by State Attorney, and Pike's hard at work on the favourite at the top of the home straight. Further back on the Terps and Father Nick headed the remainder. At the 300, Spirit and Fire still with a handy lead. More than 2 in front of Shapita, Harry Thomas and Route 88. State Attorney taking a day to get to them. It's Spirit and Fire, though, giving back as a great sight when they go to the 100 mark. It's Spirit and Fire clear. It's got them done, Spirit and Fire. It'll be all the way here for Spirit and Fire. Beat Shapita, Harry Thomas.
Spirit and Fire making it another Saturday winner for a Bairstow import. They do such a great job with these tried horses.
His strike rate is off the charts, Mark Bairstow. He's had 11 winners in town this season, and the number of his runners he's had wouldn't be probably above 50, so it's incredible effort. Follow Spirit and Fire, I think, led for the first time since its successful debut back over on the eastern seaboard, and a pretty good performance by Spirit and Fire. I'm going to forgive Vermont Lady here. She's not one of mine, but she was slow into stride and she came home with the fastest sectionals by a very long way in what was an on-pace favoured contest. The first 4 were the first 4 in running, and I will forget State Attorney here. He's been pretty uninspiring most of the time. I will put a caveat in though. I do think he probably wants a rock-hard track, but he always goes around too short.
And he does plenty wrong, the way he pulls and everything like that. So hopefully you can get him to settle a little bit better, but he has burned a few punters, so you have to be a bit brave to be jumping in. All right, let's take a look at the last race, and this one was won by, this is from one Victorian import to another one from the eastern states, Nikitas.
Smith Train Galloper more than a length in front of War God. Miracle Man enjoying a good run. Mad Brad 3 deep without much luck. Friar's Gift ridden along back near the inside. Nikitas coming into the turn. This leader is travelling. Gangbusters at the 400. Great again. He stays away from the fence. He's 3 off the rail, but he's now 3 in front from Miracle Man battling away. War God. Nikitas is starting to wind up for Pike. Noski goes to work on Great Again. 200 from home. Great Again clear about a length and a half to 2. The danger, Nikitas coming at Great Again from War God. Great Again, Nikitas down on the inside. Nikitas, Great Again. They split it together. Give it all to Nikitas.
Nikitas defeating Great Again, and a nice figure too, minus 5.9. That's 6 lengths better than benchmark for this performer.
Yeah, William Pike topped and tailed the card, as did Team Williams, as did the Galante family as well. So their colours were carried to victory in the first and the last race. And Nikitas, I think, is a horse worth following here. Grant Williams is a very good judge, and he has said time and time again this horse has got plenty of ability. Fastest last 200, fastest last 600, and really strong through the line, I heard William Pike say on the radio on Monday morning. I am forgetting Giraffe here, seems to absolutely hate Belmont Park. So forget him at least until we get back to Ascot Racecourse in October. And forgiving Great Again, led what was a pretty fast tempo, and it took a very good effort from Nikitas to beat him.
It certainly did, and you would have seen in those figures minus 4.2, so 4 lengths quicker than benchmark to that 600, and that was the tempo that Great Again led. All right, who are our star performers of Saturday?
We had 2 listed races, but the star performer came out of a 70 benchmark race. That was Spiritual Warrior, mainly due to the very fast tempo that was a couple of seconds faster than normal to the 600 metres. So Spiritual Warrior tops the rating both overall and class. Fastest closing sectionals, Battlestorm all the way.
And no surprises there. A horse with plenty of ability. Cannot wait to see what he does in the future preparations as well. All right, let's take a quick break, and on the other side, we'll see how our tipsters went on Saturday.
Arriving for a hot date on a moped. Disappointing. Arriving for a hot date on a horse? Fantastic! Life's better with horses. See you at the races.
Welcome back to the Run of the Race, where it is time to have a look at how our tipsters fared on the weekend. And Mark, there were some very, very skinny results.
Certainly was. The best way home was not tipping all 8 winners. You needed to have a couple of those outsiders in the feature races. They were Rivalry Galore and Cockatiel. They played more for the place than back in either of the Peters runners to win the race.
Okay, let's have a look at our winner. Now, does this name seem familiar to me? Has this person won before?
Yeah, he won on Derby Day back at Ascot in 2018. Michael Epis is his name. All on Black is his pseudonym. He had 1,303 points and 60 cents on Saturday. He tipped 7 of the 8 winners. The only winner he didn't get was Spirit and Fire. He had Harry Thomas in that race, finished 3rd, so he almost went through the card.
That was a serious effort. I hope he went to the cast that night and put it all on black, because luck was on his side. Does it get him into the top 8?
No, it doesn't. The new leader is Glenn Montague again. He's back on top with 4,544 points. He takes over from J-Man 23, who slid to 4th.
Okay, so Glenn Montague back in front, and another chance to do it again this Saturday afternoon, which should be a great day of racing.
Certainly will be. We've got Gareth Hall's final day on track before he moves back to the Eastern States. Of course, it's the hors d'oeuvre, if you like, to the Perth Glory Manchester United game at Optus Stadium. And also we'll be honouring Bruno Fognini, who of course was one of the co-owners of Fimiston, a great sprinter from the past.
Really looking forward to Saturday, and hopefully we see a number of those soccer fans here and then heading across to Optus Stadium. All right, that is all from the Run of the Race this week. We hope to see you again next weekend.
He makes her bid for a little